Hey guys, Tina here and welcome to another video. Today I'll be wrapping up the first half of October, so I will let you know what I managed to read, which is not a lot, and also what I'm trying to read or what I plan to read in the next couple of weeks. As I said, I did not read all that much in the last couple of weeks, but I did manage to finish 2 books and I'm really happy with that. I also, these are some books that I was hoping to read in the previous month, and I also ended up enjoying them both. So fingers up, it's all great here. The first book that I managed to finish is Our Dark Duet by V. Schwab, which is book 2 in her Masters of Verity duology. In case you are unfamiliar with this book or series, this is a series about a city called Verity in which monsters roam. These monsters are manifestations of the crimes that people commit, so depending on what type of crime you commit, a certain type of monster will emerge from that. And it's also a city that is divided between the north side and the south side. And in the north, a man called Harker is ruling. He's controlling the monsters and basically using them for his own gains. He's also making people pay him for protection. So he's sort of a mob boss. And he also has a daughter called Kate, and she wants to follow in her father's footsteps. And on the south side, we have a man called Flynn, who is slightly more optimistic and idealistic better, and he is trying to get rid of the monsters, but he has a few monsters in his team as well, and August is one of them. Now August is special because he does not want to be a monster. He wants to be human. He wants to feel like humans. He wants to act like humans. He just wants to be human in general. And well, these two characters, Kate and August, meet and things pick up from there, and there's a lot of adventure and a lot of action in the first book, and this book follows the aftermath of what happened in the previous book. We get to see these characters develop a lot. They have a great character arc. I think that things that happens to them in the previous book impacted them, and what we see now is a great and very realistic portrayal of what would happen to them in real life if something like that happens. Well, I'm making this weird. I really like that. I also like it that this book sort of doesn't sugarcoat things. It shows them for what they are. So it's slightly sad, but it's also optimistic, and I really like that. Sort of it gives you a good feeling, that all in all it's not all necessarily bad, and there is maybe a bright future ahead. And all in all, I really enjoyed it. I loved the fact that I finally finished this zoology because I was sort of postponing this book. And I'm really happy that I read it. In general, it's a good zoology, it's a good story. And I think that there are a few loose ends sort of that could end up in future books. We shall see if, Victoria decides to do that. But all in all, it was a really good book. And the last book that I managed to finish is Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, and I'm really happy that I finally got to read this book. I finally finished it. It took me a month, but it was well worth it. Yes, I could have read it faster, but I didn't dedicate enough time in it at the beginning. I just would read a page here and there, but then I actually forced myself to read more, and I really got into the story and I really started enjoying it. So here we are now. I can definitely see why people love it so much. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the story, and this is a story of Jane Eyre, who is an orphan, and she spends the first few years of her life living with her uncle's family, and it's not really a pleasant environment. People are very hostile to her, so she ends up going to this boarding school for orphans, and the beginning stages are rough as well, but things get better after that, and she grows up and we follow her story after that as well. All in all, I have to say that I've really loved Jane's character. She's a really strong female. She knows what is right. She knows what she should do. She's really, really determined, and I really love that because, in those times, I think this is like the 1800s, it was not easy to be female and be on your own and make a living and all that, and she's really strong, and wow, she's a great feminist, I would say. I did not really care for Mr. Rochester, I have to say that. I don't like the romance part that much, simply because, well, he's an asshole. I mean, I can see why he did things the way he did, but I definitely don't have to like them. All in all, yeah, the writing took me as well a bit to get into, simply because I do read mostly contemporary authors, so, the writing style is a bit older, and but it's not really a problem, I have to say. So all in all, I really enjoyed it. It's great. Now I have to watch the movie because I know that I've watched a certain version of it in the past because I actually knew what was going to happen and all that. But now I want to see the newer version. And I'm really looking forward to that. But yes, finally guys, I did it. I've also been listening to The Great Hunt by Robert Jordan, which is book 2 in his Wheel of Time series, and so far I'm really enjoying it. This tells the story of Rand, Matt and Perrin, who are these young boys living in a village in the middle of nowhere, and one day their lives get disrupted, the village is attacked and they're not sure why, but they soon realize that these creatures that attacked were actually after them. And they join Moraine, who's a nice Sedai, and this is a group of women that can wield the power, and she is accompanied by her Lan, who's sort of her bodyguard, and these two people take them with them to they're traveling to a place called Tar Valon, where they would be safe. That is the seat of the Aes Sedai, and they will supposedly protect them. So it's a whole, you know, big adventure, and there's a lot of going on all the time, but it is a slow book. I mean, it's a slow series. It's a lot, you know, it reminds me a lot of Tolkien, and is very similar to that in some regards. But I'm really enjoying it, as I said. I'm not really sure that I will be able to finish this book by the end of the month because it's still, well, the end is still far, far away. But whatever, you know, I get to read, it's going to be fantastic, and I will be happy with that. I'm also reading an ebook on my Kindle, and it's called, wait, actually I have to check on my phone on Goodreads because I sort of forgot the title. It's a gay romance novel, and it's called Illegal Contact by who? Santino Hassel, and it's about this it's about Gavin, who's an NFL player, and he gets suspended. He, you know, has to skip the whole season because he assaulted someone, and he's also under house arrest, and he has to basically hire a private assistant because he's not allowed to leave the house. He, you know, he needs somebody to do his shopping, laundry, answer the mail or whatever, and they really do not get along at first because Gavin, he's an asshole. Literally, he's an asshole. He's arrogant, he's annoying, and, well, Noah just needs a job that much, otherwise he would say no. But it's really grown on me, this book. I really like it so far. I just, you know, sometimes I just need something to get through without me having to think about it a lot, and that is perfect for that. But actually next week I will be starting, well, not next week, this week, I will be starting another ebook, and that it's called, it's an arc, it's called The Stone in the Skull by Elizabeth Bear. It's a fantasy book, and it's the beginning of a new trilogy by her. Now, I've never read any of her books, so, you know, I'm not sure whether or not I actually like her as an author, so we shall see about that. I'm also not sure how spoilery this book will be for the previous trilogy in the series. But yeah, we shall see. I'm actually not even sure what it's about, so I'm sorry guys, just check it out on Goodreads. But yeah, anyways, those are my plans for the next couple of weeks. Let me know down in the comments if you have read any of these books and how you felt about them. And thank you for watching this video, and see you in my next one. Bye!